Too hard. Use the word of the week. The word of the week is resilient. The definition of resilient is the ability to recover quickly, even when things are tough. So, what does resilience mean to you?
Resilience means to me when we keep going and we try our hardest. It's another word for saying diligence.
Mrs. Tibble, what does resilience mean to you?
Well, Bunja, resilience means to me when we bounce back or we recover from a really difficult or challenging situation. And in my job at school, there's lots of challenges that I face every day. Sometimes I feel a bit down by those challenges and I feel like I can't accomplish them. So what I do in those times is I do what our mission statement tells us to do, and I put my trust in God. And I know then that God will be able to help me through and get over those challenges. And at those times I always say a special little prayer to God, and I always say, Sacred Heart of Jesus, I place all my trust in Thee. And I know that by doing that, I will be able to show the resilience to get over all of those difficult situations.
David, when have you shown resilience?
I'm showing resilience during many things, like when I play football and playing sports.
We have to be resilient when we play sports. And in our work when we find it tricky.
When we get stuck on our word in our reading.
Some people have to be resilient in their jobs.
The scripture this week
is Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. This links to the word as it reminds us that we must be brave and never give up. In the story, Giraffes Can't Dance, Gerald shows great resilience.
Giraffes can't dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully bandy and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthog started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor. But the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald!" The animals all laughed. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool! Oh, Gerald, don't be daft!" Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "Oh, the moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. "But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music are the branches in the breeze." So imagine that lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. He threw his arms out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I am dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing," Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we have ever seen." "How is it that you dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twizzled round and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love."
How can we be more like Gerald? We can just never give up. And try again, but try it differently.
This week we would like you to pray the bouncy ball prayer.
You will need a bouncy ball. Stand in a circle and bounce the ball to someone. Watch how the ball bounces back. When we are resilient, we can bounce back with God's help. This links to our mission statement.
As we never have to give up if we trust in God.
And if we never give up, we can make a better tomorrow by helping today.
With God, we never have to be afraid.
No matter how tricky things are, we should never give up. Your mission this week is to be more resilient and never give up.